a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Wednesday to you. We are smack in the middle of our 90s Nostalgia Week here on Project Joy Live as part of our Battle of the Decades series. Last week we had totally 80s. This week, 90s Nostalgia. And today is all about music and movies. So I'm really excited. We have a lot to talk about because honestly, I really feel like 90s music and the amount of genres that were so present and so accounted for during this decade really helped to play into how many genres I have on my playlist at any given time. So I'm really excited to be joined today by none other than my fabulous co-host for Beyond 2D. Farron Dozier is here with us this morning. We have a couple national days to talk about today, and we also have birthdays coming up at the end as well. So stay tuned for that. Ms. Brittany's joining us this morning. Good morning. Happy hump day to you. Jason's out there. Listen, Jason's like, you beat me to the VIP section, but Brittany was like, you don't know. I always get the VIP seat. Okay. Y'all can fight it out. Out there in the audience this morning. Also, Jason, I don't know if you left early yesterday, but you won the trivia game yesterday. So you need to send your address to my email, jessica@thebreakthroughshow.com, to get your prize for 90s Nostalgia Trivia, okay? I want to jump right into our topic this morning, but really quickly, I want to mention a couple national days. It's the plant-based person in me is very happy because it's National Cucumber Day. I love cucumbers. If I had to choose a favorite salad, cucumber salad would be my favorite salad. So let me know if you're going to celebrate today. Also, anyone that's watching us from the great state of New Mexico, it is National New Mexico Day today, June 14th. It is also International Bath Day. I recommend everybody take a bath often, not just on International Bath Day, but here we are. And what else is going on? National Flag Day today. National Strawberry Shortcake Day. I could definitely get on board with that. I love some strawberry shortcake. And fitting in with our guest today, I don't know if he knows this. Did you know, Farron, that today is the Army's birthday? It's the Army's birthday today. So retired Sergeant First Class Farron Dozier will be joining us on the show right now. Good morning. I need one of those. I need a button.
What's happening?
I need a button. How are you this morning? It's early. Can we just give a little Project Joy
It's only
ding
it's
for
only 5 a.m. here. It's only five oh
almost
five.
5:05?
Didn't I just see you yesterday?
We did. We saw each other not long ago. Not long ago. Yes, I we're going to talk about 90s music and movies
Oh,
today, which is a big topic because there a lot that stick out in your mind like it does mine.
that's the best era of music. What are you talking about?
I agree.
It's the 90s.
I agree.
It
It's
must have been
happening.
love.
Um, there was a lot of big news and advancements in music in the 90s. I wanted to mention a few different things. First of all, we had the introduction of CDs. CDs became the primary format for music consumption, replacing vinyl records and cassette tapes. The improved audio quality, durability, and convenience of CDs revolutionized the music industry and paved the way for digital music. Now, see, as annoyed as I was with taking a pencil to my cassette tapes when they would unravel, I was more annoyed by how easily CDs got scratched. Does that bring back any annoying memories for you?
Um, the whole cassette era. I didn't buy my first CD until 6 years into the 90s.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
wanted I because I had a cassette deck in my car,
Yeah,
and I was not about to buy any CDs
right.
until
You,
Biggie Smalls' Notorious B.I.G. double CD came out.
was that your first
That was
CD?
my first CD.
Get out.
That was my first.
I
I was
don't
like, oh, I
remember
gotta
my
have
first
that.
CD.
Oh
I,
yeah.
I I don't remember my first CD. I don't remember what my first one was. So clearly it wasn't that meaningful for me.
It was because I got the I upgraded my card deck,
Hmm.
and it's the 10 CD changer with the Kenwood.
Wow.
Oh, I was balling out of control.
Wow. A
and
whole
and the,
moment.
and it pulled out. So it came out as a pull out, and I had 10 disc CD changer in the trunk.
Stop it. Stop.
I went all in.
That's a whole memory right there. What's up, Adam, from across the pond this morning? How
I
are you
went
today?
all in.
Um, another thing that was the rise of alternative rock. The 90s witnessed mainstream popularity of alternative rock bands such as Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, leading to a shift in the music landscape and a departure from the dominance of pop and hair metal. The sales of Aquanet dwindled as the 90s went on.
Finally.
We had the digital music revolution. The development of digital technology and the widespread adoption of the internet led to significant changes in how music was consumed. The emergence of MP3 files and online sharing platforms like Napster, remember that trouble? In the
Yeah.
late 90s laid the foundation for the digital music revolution. That was an interesting time.
90s. I was in the military at that time,
Mm,
obviously, and I remember getting my first email address
yeah.
in '94.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I think that was for AIM. You've got mail.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That was a moment.
Yahoo
Yeah.
Mail.
Hotmail.
And then there was a I can't remember the first one I got, but it was an off-brand type of email.
Yeah.
It wasn't even one of those. It was like I
He
wish I
got an email from Wish before there was Wish. What happened? We talked about in the 80s the birth of MTV, but the rise
oh
of
yeah.
MTV really happened in the 90s, with a big show that was part of everyday life in the 90s, which was TRL, Total
Uh,
Request Live. I think a lot of people remember that. We also had big crossover popularity in Latin music. Lots of artists like Ricky Martin, Mark Anthony, and then big news in 95 when Selena died. And that was a huge thing. And the funny thing about that, as I think back, I remember being so upset because I was such a huge fan of the album that had just come out, but that
Mm.
was the first I knew of her. I didn't know at the time of the history of Selena and how long she had been around.
Oh
So
yeah.
then throughout time, like as I learned about her story and everything, it was wild to realize how long she had really been at it, you know?
Yeah. I was behind. I was
Yeah.
too busy listening to Poison.
Yeah. I mean, listen, hip hop was a big deal. Tupac, Notorious B.I.G., Jay-Z, significant success in the
Hmm.
mainstream spotlight. And I think that's what, because we had alternative rock, we had boy bands and girl groups, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Spice Girls, Destiny's Child, the grunge movement. Okay, we had Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden. We had hip
A
hop.
lot of solo artists too. Johnny Gill.
Yep,
Rub you the right way.
yep. Can you sing that again? Sing that again, Ron.
Nope. Pass. Go next. Who else was out?
But yeah, there were so many genres, and I feel like honestly, like they all kind of played nice together. Like we
Yeah.
didn't see a lot of like, no, hip hop is better than grunge, and grunge is better than boy band. Like we just really didn't. We didn't see that a whole lot. And so I feel like everybody had their space, and it was good. I have the I have the top 10 songs of the 90s here. And one of them really surprised me because I had no idea what it was and I had to go listen to it.
Really?
Okay. So number one was Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit,
Okay.
1991.
Remember that one?
Yep.
I was
Yep.
21. I was 20 in 90, just so y'all know.
We won't say how old I was in 90.
I was 20. That was the spark of I'm telling you, that's why it was the spark of my 20s. I
And
was
see, I think this is a really influential time for me. So in the beginning of your 20s, like that's a big time in your life. And for me, I was coming into being a teenager, so that was a big time in my life as well, because there's a lot of things that stick out to you during that time in your life too. So I think when these big musical things happen in like a influential time in our life, it just becomes the soundtrack of that
soundtrack.
particular moment, right? Number two, big fan. I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. Yep, sing it, break it down. Number three was in 98, Baby One More Time by Britney Spears.
Oh Lord.
Yep, that was a moment.
It's definitely a moment.
Number four, and I remember just loving how this music video was done. TLC paved the way for some really good music videos here. Waterfalls by
Oh,
TLC was number four.
legend. Legend.
Love that song. Number five, we had a question about this band in trivia yesterday, and people did not like. I'm just surprised because I was such a fan, but it's Losing My Religion by REM.
Oh yeah.
REM, I
My
loved, but nobody could get the trivia yesterday. I'm like, what? That's such a good. It's a good
yeah.
band. I don't care who you are.
What is that?
Also,
That's like 91, I think, huh?
that was 91. Yep. Yep. Um, so in 95, this song was a really big deal. And Brandon Croucher and I sung this at the top of our lungs yesterday. And that was Wonderwall by Oasis.
I have to hear that one again.
I said, maybe
Oh
you're
yes.
gonna be the one
Oh,
that
that's.
saved me.
Oh yes. That's yes.
We're not repeating yesterday, okay?
That's my song, but I don't know the lyrics.
Brandon didn't either. I'm gonna have to go get a clip of that from yesterday. Number seven. Do you remember the little girl in the bee costume? Do you remember? It was No Rain by Blind Melon. There was a little girl in a bee costume in the video that came out and did a little tap dance, and then it went into the song. All I can say is that my life is really
Oh, that was a
great.
good one too.
Yep. It was
Wow.
a vibe. Okay, this song is a pretty big deal in my house because my husband's nickname is actually Black Sun. Um, and it goes back a long way. And so it's funny when we got married and we all are into gaming and stuff, all of our names, like I'm Mama Black Sun, and then my husband Black Sun, and then we have Sparkly Black Sun, Fiery Black Sun, Shaded Black. We have all these names. So if you ever see that in a game you're playing, it's us. Fun fact. But it's actually Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden, 1994.
Ooh.
That music video scared the daylights out of me.
Ooh.
It was weird. Do you remember it?
I don't remember that. I have
It
to
was
hear
the
it.
most random thing. Like they had this lady come out that had like a big like mouth, and she's holding a wooden spoon, and then they had like a goat, and then there was like it was
What was the song?
Black Hole Sun. You know that song, right?
What? No, sing some. I need 4 bars. I can name that tune in 4 bars.
Hold on, I'm trying to
I don't know titles.
hold on, let me fast forward before I get in trouble.
No, you haven't got me.
What?
No.
Okay, so Postmodern Jukebox came out with in recent years like a jazz version of that song. I covered that song on Sing Snap. So if you're on Sing Snap, you can go find it. Just look for it. Just that's all I'm not gonna give you a link. I'm not gonna give you a link, but you can go find it.
She could sing anyway. Don't worry about it.
Number 9, one of my favorite bands of the 90s, no doubt it was Don't Speak.
Oh, yes.
And the funny thing about that song, a lot of people may not know that it was about Gwen's breakup with their bassist. So the side eye that they're giving each other in the video was for real.
For real? Oh.
For real.
She's like, don't speak.
Keep playing the bass. Okay. That's what you need to do. Okay. Number 10. I had to go look it up, and I'm probably going to get tomatoes thrown at me here because this was originally, I think, a Tina Turner song. And I am not, I listened to it before the show. I'm not a fan. I'll be honest with you, either version. It was Unfinished Sympathy by Massive Attack in 91. I had never heard it before. I went to go listen to it, and then I saw that there was a version by Tina Turner. I went to go listen. I don't know which one came first, but I don't like either.
Yeah,
So
I'd have to hear it because I don't.
I thought maybe this is one I just forgot the title to. I had never, and it was not good for me.
See, I grew up in with classic rock,
Yeah,
funk, R&B, hip hop, some pop because of the MTV, the 80s for sure.
right.
But I'm sure there was a genre that I didn't get into. That was.
This is kind of like look, Tina Turner was kind of known for like combining genres a little bit. She was very rock, but she also had a lot of soul in there. She had a lot of like almost sometimes a pop sound even. And so this song was very much like rock meets dance. Like it was I don't know. It's not.
Sounds weird.
I love some Tina, may she rest in peace, but
And that was number 10. That was in the top 10.
Yeah.
Somebody liked it. Maybe her era or somebody. Who knows?
Maybe it was that. I don't know. It was a no for me though. Just putting it out. It was not on Jessica's top 10. The top 10 musical artists of the 90s were let's see, two or three of these carried over from the 80s as well. Number 1 was Nirvana. Number 2, Michael Jackson, carrying over from the 80s. Number 3, Madonna.
Yeah.
Number 4, Mariah Carey. Number 5, Pearl Jam. Number 6, Tupac Shakur. And Notorious B.I.G. did not make this list. I just want to say.
No.
Yeah.
Tupac had that sold up first.
Tupac was there.
Yeah.
You know.
That was my club days.
We were supposed to talk about that today. Number 7, Radiohead.
Mm.
Number 8, Whitney Houston. Number 9, Red Hot Chili Peppers. And number 10, the Spice Girls.
Oh, the Spice Girls. That's right.
Oh, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really
Yeah.
want.
Early, early.
Yep, yep. And that was part of the big news from the 90s as well, is the 90s really birthed the girl power, sort of like, okay, ladies, let's get it together. And the Spice Girls really helped to pave the way for that, because all of their songs were super empowering for the girls. So,
Well, yeah, because when did Britney start? Did she
that was
start
the end of the
end of
90s.
'90s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even like in all the girl groups, I remember, Destiny's Child, TLC, Salt and Pepper,
Yeah.
all
Those were early.
it was a good time for the ladies. It's a good time.
Y'all did y'all thing in the '90s.
We tried. When we learned to lay off the hairspray, we had more brain cells to work with after that. All right, we got to move on to movies. Oh, wait a
Geez, that'll
minute.
be hard.
Spice Girls was Britney's first concert.
Wow.
Stop it. What was your favorite song from the concert, Brittany? I need to know these things. If you were a Spice Girl, what Spice Girl would you be?
Ooh.
I'm sure that was one of those quizzes from Teen Beat magazine in the 90s as well. Which Spice
17.
Girl are you? She loved them all. It didn't even matter.
Okay. We know her Walkman was cracking.
Yeah. Yep. I won't talk about my New Kids on the Block pillowcase, okay?
Oh.
All right. Please don't go, girl.
Oh. See, I was fresh in the military, so I have a lot of different songs.
Okay, moving on to movies.
Jeez.
Moving on to movies. All right.
I'm gonna be lost here.
Here we go. You think you're gonna okay? Number 1 movie of the 90s was Pulp Fiction in 1994. I am not sure that I've seen the entirety of that movie.
You either? Because I don't know when I saw it, and I only seem to catch pieces of it.
I'm not sure I've seen the whole thing. But it was so the iconic dance scene between John Travolta and Uma Thurman was almost cut from the film because Quentin Tarantino thought it didn't work during rehearsals, and that is the scene I remember the most. So that's pretty funny that it was almost cut from the movie. Number 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time, The Shawshank Redemption. Do you not like it, or have you not seen it?
I don't think I've seen that either.
Stop. You need to leave right now and go watch that movie. It's so good.
No.
So good. Oh my
I remember
god.
hearing about it, but no, I didn't see that.
So it got critical acclaim, the movie did, but it initially performed really poorly at the box office, apparently, but it became popular through word of mouth, and so that's interesting.
Later, yeah.
Yeah. Yep, one of my favorites as well.
Really?
So good. This number 3 we talked about yesterday in trivia, but there was a lot of people that didn't know this one either. Schindler's List in
Heard of it,
93.
but didn't watch it, yeah.
And so fun fact about this, the movie was about the Holocaust. Steven Spielberg refused to take a salary for directing the film, saying he didn't want to profit from the Holocaust.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool. I didn't know that. Number 4, a classic of the 90s, Forrest Gump.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Life is like a box of chocolate.
I could still watch that today.
Yeah. I did as well. It was always a little long for me, but at the same time, there were so many really fun historical moments that were included in that. It's like it kind of had to be long to, cover all of that.
Yeah.
Also, okay, number 5 we talked about yesterday too, and I couldn't believe until I dropped a very popular line of this movie, nobody got it, and it's one of my favorites. It's The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, yeah.
I Love that movie. I love that movie. It's one of my, but until I told Brandon to put the lotion in the basket, nobody knew what it was.
Oh yeah, I don't know
Oh
the
my gosh.
lines, but
So I could listen, I could repeat 90% of the movie. Number 6
mm,
from 97, very popular song came out of this by Miss Celine Dion, Titanic.
oh, yeah, I actually like Titanic.
I do too.
I actually like that.
I enjoy that movie. And I also enjoy, I liked movies that are sort of loosely based on history and then going back and being like, okay, which parts of this were made up and
Right.
which parts of this were true. I love to dive into that a little bit and get, you know,
What was the jewelry a true piece of that?
the heart of
The
the
diamond?
ocean,
Yeah, was
the
that
blue, the blue diamond. Yeah.
was that real? Was that really part of the?
I don't, I can't remember now. As I was looking it up, there were pieces I think that were lost, and then there's been a new I don't know. Titanic was in the news recently because they came out with some kind of new technology that they sent down there because it's been really hard to see, I guess, the wreckage because of how deep it is and
Yeah.
the everything else. But they were able to get for the first time an entire 3D
No,
of what it looks like. Yes, there's an article. So if you go look it up, you can
gotta
see the
find that.
photo.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Like you see the broken piece and everything.
Oh
Like
wow.
it's really, really awesome. So I kind of geek out with that movie
That
because
was no,
beyond the movie,
that was good.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. Number 7, I'm gonna get tomatoes thrown at me again because I never got into the entire series. Maybe this will be a goal of mine to do this, but it's The Matrix.
Yeah, I tried. Matter of fact, I tried to watch that a few months ago, and I couldn't push the button.
I feel like I want to watch it because everybody says I need to.
Right. That's why I'm like, nah, I pass.
And I enjoy Keanu Reeves, but I just I don't know.
I've
I don't
seen
know.
pieces. You know how you turn the movie on? Like there are certain movies that I turn on, and it's like in the same spot every time I watch it. Same spot.
Same thing.
That
Same
same.
thing. All right, this one I don't feel like we're allowed to mention.
Uh
I don't
oh.
think we're supposed to talk about this one.
What?
Came out in 99. Fight Club.
Oh
We're
wow.
not supposed to talk about it
Why?
because that's the rule.
Oh.
Good morning, Farron. It's good to have you here today.
It is 5:28 a.m. right here. Back to you in the studios.
I want you to know, I never get one over on people ever. Ever. This is the first time. Thank you, Farron, for
You're
making my
welcome.
entire life.
You're welcome. Hey! No crying faces.
Number 9 came out in 1990, starring Joe Pesci, and that was Goodfellas. That was a good one. That was a good one. Uh, and number 10, we were supposed to mention because there were so many amazing ones that came out in the 90s with from Disney, but number 10 was The Lion King from Disney.
Where is it?
What is this? Oh, we're having tattoo show and tell again today. Okay.
It's the lion right there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Stop.
So my daughter so she wanted to get matching tattoos. So I got the adult and she has the cub.
So cute. Takuna Matata to you, Miss Rhonda, this morning.
Yes, she got me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. So yesterday we had show and tell with Brandon's Ninja Turtles tattoos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he has an entire sleeve of Ninja Turtles. So of course he does. And so we had that yesterday. And then yeah, that was a fun time.
That was probably his era too.
Yeah. Yep. because he's younger than me, so he was just a little thing coming up in the 90s.
Exactly.
Though he was better at 80s trivia than he was 90s. I'll say that much. With Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power. Um, have you listened to the Saturday morning slow jams?
No.
Okay, I talked about Postmodern Jukebox already, but they did a series where they took Saturday morning cartoon theme songs
Ooh.
and remixed them into 90s slow jam style.
Where is that at?
Go on YouTube, your entire life will be made.
It's called what?
Saturday morning slow jams.
No way.
You have like the soprano clarinet, the in the background. The best ones, okay, are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one, Muppet Babies,
Oh Lord.
and DuckTales. Those are the best ones. Okay. And they're so funny, but so like you're jamming and you're like, oh God, this is a cartoon theme song.
How far do they go back in cartoons though?
It's the ones that were, on Saturday morning cartoons for like in the 90s or in the late
Okay.
80s, early 90s.
I was
So
in my 20s then, so I was unable to watch cartoons.
they have, but they're still hilarious the way that they
I'll
did
check
them.
it,
You
though.
gotta go watch them.
I'll check it though.
Um,
I'm interested.
it's a whole vibe. It's a whole vibe. Okay, so top 10 actors or actresses from the 90s, along with their
Ooh,
most popular
you wanna
work
go
from that
there.
decade. Who is somebody you think is on this list?
Is that the era of Mission Impossible? Did that one start? When was the first one? think so.
I'm not sure, but the person from that movie is on the list, but
Okay.
for a different body of work.
Yeah, I'm sure he had something else, but that was the character I'm trying to. What's his
So
name?
we'll start at the top of the list.
Okay.
Number 1, Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Most popular work from the 90s was, of course, Forrest Gump, which we already talked about.
Yeah. It wasn't Wilson.
Number 2, we talked about yesterday because we also talked about from the 80s because her breakout movie before the movie that I'm about to talk about was taped right here in Mystic, Connecticut, which is Mystic Pizza. Julia Roberts is number 2, and her most popular work being Pretty Woman in 1990.
That was good.
Yep.
That was good.
Rhonda says she thinks Bruce Willis and Kate Blanchett are on there. We'll see. We're gonna check that out.
Because Die Hard.
I don't see either one though. Bruce Willis
What?
is the answer. Yeah. Number 3 is going back to what you mentioned, and that's Tom Cruise. Though his most popular work was in '96, Jerry Maguire.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Show me the money.
For sure. The Quan.
Number 4, Denzel Washington. Denzel, most popular work was Training Day in 2001.
Oh, well, yeah.
But that's 2001. I wonder.
Where was he in 90s?
I don't know. I don't know now. Somebody was drunk when they were putting together this list is what they were doing. But number 5 came out in 89, but she gained a lot of popularity. So that's what they're doing. Hold on a minute. They're saying that what their most popular work was, not necessarily the most popular work in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to see what was Denzel in the 90s.
Probably gonna say
Malcolm X in 92, The Bone Collector 99.
Malcolm X was 92?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, I was 22 years old when
we talked about this movie yesterday because it spoke to the AIDS epidemic with Philadelphia in 93 with Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
He was acting.
That was yep. There was a lot of things that I did. The Hurricane in 99, The Pelican Brief in 93 with, speaking of Julia Roberts.
Oh.
Yep, he's got Game, Crimson Tide.
Oh yeah. Okay, Denzel, my bad.
Yep.
My
Yep.
bad.
That's
Don't
it.
unfriend me. Don't unfriend me.
We're sorry, Denzel.
Yeah, my bad.
Number 5, Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan. You've got Mail. What else was in the 90s? Because her most popular movie was in 89, which was When Harry Met Sally.
Okay.
But she was in so many things in the 90s, and include City of Angels with Nick Cage in 98.
Okay. She was doing her thing.
Sleepless in Seattle with Tom Hanks in
Oh,
93. She had
that's.
a lot going on in the
Oh yeah,
90s.
she was.
See,
Yeah.
we're sorry, Meg Ryan.
Yeah. She's sorry. I'm not.
I love some. You don't like Meg Ryan?
She's cool.
She's all right. Okay.
She's cool.
Number 6, most popular work was in 1990 in Edward Scissorhands, and that's Mr. Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah, for sure. Isn't he Mr. 90s?
Yep.
He's got to be Mr. 90s.
He could be Mr. a lot of things for a lot of ladies out there. I'll just put that out there this morning. Okay.
Next.
Next. Okay. Number 7, which this goes back to Keanu Reeves, because talking about Keanu Reeves in The Matrix, I loved Speed in 94, which brings us to our number 7, Sandra Bullock.
She had a good run too.
She did. She
She
did.
had a
And
good run too.
I think, when did Miss Congeniality come out though?
It might have been late 90s or early 2000s.
I'm looking to see now, because now that was in 2000. So we'll
Yeah.
definitely have to talk about that next week, because I love that movie. That's one of my favorite.
I watched that.
Practical Magic. That was one of my
Sounds
favorites from
familiar.
98 with Sandra Bullock. Speed 2. Another movie I love of hers that came out in 2000 though was 28 Days. With her, it talks about alcoholism and whatnot. That was such a good movie. A huge favorite from the 90s, Robin Williams.
Oh yes.
Robin Williams. We had Mrs. Doubtfire at some point. I don't remember what year that was, but Good Will Hunting was his number 1 movie in 97. Love that movie.
Yeah.
So good. Number 9 was Brad Pitt. Most popular work being Fight Club in 99. I'm not the biggest Brad Pitt fan. I know a lot of the ladies like some Brad Pitt, but
yeah,
he's not one of my favorites. Number 10, honestly, this movie and this part, okay, this is one of the greatest actresses of all time, and that's Meryl Streep. And the movie though, The Bridges of Madison County in 95, have you seen that movie?
I think I've seen some pieces of it.
I could watch that movie. It doesn't matter. I could watch that movie 8 times in a row, and the 8th time I will still be soaking wet from crying.
Really? There's a scene?
It's the whole damn movie.
Oh, yeah,
It's
no.
the whole thing. It's the whole thing.
It was my 20s, man. It was my 20s.
It's well, I mean, we'll give you a pass. We'll give you a pass. I wanted to quickly mention some television, because we didn't do this when we talked about movies last week.
It was on
But
TV in the 90s.
TV in the 90s. Did you have anything that sticks out to you?
I can't remember.
Okay. We're going to go down these pretty quickly. There's one of these shows that's on this list that is still playing today.
Probably like a Law and Order or some.
Nope.
Some crime.
Keep thinking as we're going through. Number 1, Friends, that started in 94, ran to 2004. Seinfeld actually started in 89.
Well, of course, those are my 2. Go ahead.
Yep. Number 3, The X-Files, started in 93, ended in 2002. I'm going to skip number 4 because that's our one that's still playing today. I'm giving you time to think.
All right.
Number 5, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, ran from 97 to 2003. Number 6, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I was thinking that one for sure.
90 to 96. Number 8, why we already said Friends? Goodness Lord. Okay, number 8, The Sopranos, 99 to 2007. So that's kind of more
That's
of like
late though.
Yeah,
That's more.
that's a minute later. I've never seen this one. Twin Peaks, 90 to 91. Did you ever watch that? I didn't either. Number 10 from 94 to 2009 was ER.
Yeah.
George Clooney
Yeah.
in that one there. The one that started in 1989 and is still going today.
It's not a crime show.
No, The Simpsons.
They're
The
still making new Simpsons.
Simpsons. Yep.
New ones.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. It's wild to me. And my daughter went down a rabbit hole yesterday because have you heard the conspiracies about that show?
Of course.
How they predict things
Of
before they
course.
actually happen. My daughter found that rabbit hole yesterday and she was like, Mom, how did they know?
We still wonder.
We can't figure it out.
Can't
We
figure it
can't.
out.
Okay, so one of the shows that was not on this list that I'm actually rewatching now for the 900th time because it's so 90s and it actually had a really huge impact on teenagers in the 90s and that's why it sticks out to me was Beverly Hills 90210. It started, there were spin-offs from the Melrose Place, the other 90 90210 things that came off of it, but it really spoke to a lot that was going on at the time for teenagers and young adults when it comes to really hot button topics. And so as I've been rewatching it, I don't know what I'm on right now, season 3 or 4 or something like that. It spoke a lot to the time, and there were things that were covered that are still hot button topics today.
Really?
Yeah, like things, there was a lot about, we talked about the, female influence, girl power. There was a lot about racism that came up in that show. There was a lot about LGBTQ came up in that show. There was a lot of things that were mentioned that I really feel like they were almost ahead of their time a little bit because these are things that have become really front, top of the news today. So shout out to 90210 because I can sit and watch those with episodes with my teenage girls and the stuff still applies.
So, do you think that because they say that TV is programming,
Hmm.
that it would automatically be a hot topic today
It's a
because
good
of
point.
the programming? That's yeah. Maybe that's too deep for the '90s right now.
It is, but it's a good point though because I think there's a lot of things that we saw as we've gone through this series, this Battle of the Decade series we've been doing. There's a lot of things we saw in the 80s and 90s that suddenly are a big deal now. Um, and so were they ahead of their time or were they setting us up to?
I'm moving to that side right there.
Okay, we got really deep here at the end of Project
This is
Joe.
not too deep.
This is not beyond 2D this morning. We got to talk about birthdays really quickly before
Uh-oh.
we leave today. 77 years old today, President Donald Trump has a birthday today. Happy birthday to him. 62 years old today. You ready for this? Boy
Oh,
George. Boy George
hey,
we do today. Okay, as
I
we
like
talk
I like
about
Boy George.
80s and
I saw
90s.
him in concert at the
Mm,
Hollywood Bowl. My aunt took me.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
was
Oh
like
wow.
yeah.
Oh wow.
As an adult, like not long ago.
Get out. Was it good?
It was good.
So I have a Boy George vinyl record
Yeah.
that is actually a cutout of Boy George.
Whoa.
Yeah, I wish I had it like in here, but it's in a box. I'll show you when I get this box out, I'll show it to you. It's really cool. So we'll be talking about this person actually on next week's topic of the 2000s. Daryl Sabara is 31 years old today. He played in Spy Kids, the Spy Kids franchise. He's Megan Trainor's husband today. And a lot of people remember him as Junie Cortez from the Spy Kids, among other things. The kids know these things.
Yeah, they must.
In the celebrities in my life, Yazin has a birthday today. Breakthrough Show alumni Troy Stone and another Breakthrough Show alumni Christopher Burns has birthdays today. And with that, we have to get our birthday song on. Are you ready, Farron, to sing with us this morning?
Me.
Here we go. Here we
Mm.
go. Happy birthday to
To
you.
you,
Happy
birthday
birthday to
to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear President
all of
Donald Trump,
you.
Boy George, Daryl Sabara, Yazid Yazin, Troy Stone, and Christopher
Blah, blah, blah,
Burns.
blah, blah, blah.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you. Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating today. Wish you an amazing day. Thank you for joining me for Music and Movies on this 90s Nostalgia Week, Farron.
Thank you, thank you.
And definitely go check the replay of Beyond 2D last night. I started pulling clips from the show. I have pulled 4 clips and I'm 15 minutes in.
Oh my.
Okay.
Oh my.
It was fire.
Oh my.
Farron, Scott Mason, myself, we were talking about accountability and integrity. Yeah,
The foundation of all this.
it was a lot. It was a lot. Thank you for being here with me this morning, my
Yeah.
friend. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you for the invitation. The 90s. Oh
Yeah.
my. I did so my first alcoholic beverage, could I say that on here?
Oh yeah.
Because I was, like I said, I was 20 in
Yep.
90. And so wasn't a drinker at all, but the guys that I was my childhood friends, one day they were already drinking. And we Boone's Strawberry Hill, Boone's Farm was my first taste of alcohol. It was so good. It was
Wow.
so good. It became my drink, right? And then one night, me and my buddy were gonna go to the club, but we didn't go to the club. So we went and we bought some warm Strawberry Hill, and we looked up wine and cheese. So we was like, oh, we'll get some cheese and crackers and some,
Oh
and
my
we'll
God.
just, yeah. So long story short, when I woke up in the morning, we were in my car still. I had thrown up outside because of the warm, because I hadn't had any food, and the warm Strawberry Hill and the cheese, and we kind of knew it was a bad combination, but
Oh.
we were adulting.
You were adulting though.
We were
Well
adulting.
done.
It was like cheese and wine. Let's get it in the car.
I can't.
That's my 90s.
That's okay. Meanwhile, little teeny bopper Jessica was over here watching 90210 with all her scrunchies in. Okay.
Yeah, and then so I didn't club until 94, and I didn't dance, and I was like, but when I went in 94, I'm like, if that's dancing, I could do that, and it was on after that.
I was gonna say you don't dance is BS because I saw him dancing before we pushed play today.
Yeah, I'm saying 94 though. That was when I started because I was like, if that's dancing, I can do that. And when we found a couple of clubs in Pasadena, oh my,
It was it. That was the beginning of the end.
The Boone's Farms in the club. That girl is poisoned.
To finish us off today, I would love to leave you with a piece of advice.
Uh-oh,
Okay,
please,
straight
please.
from the 90s.
Let's
Okay,
go.
you never trust a big butt and a smile.
Never,
Never.
never.
Brittany said demo or it didn't happen. I saw him, Brittany. I'm ticked I didn't record because before the show I was playing Heavy D and the Boys. Okay, Heavy and Farron was all Running Man.
That was a jam.
It was.
You missed it.
Too bad.
Back to you in the studios.
Behind on the next episode of Behind the Scenes.
Exactly. We need a whole show for that.
Oh, the breakthrough show Behind the Music. See?
What day can we do that on?
Speaking, hold on, because there was news I saw, and I saw you post about it, and then I saw something come on. Did Tyler Perry just buy BET
Yeah,
and
he sure.
VH1?
Yeah, he got them both.
What?
Yeah, he got them both.
VH1. If he doesn't bring back behind the music, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna boycott the whole Medea franchise.
Yeah, I'm. Well, that was my post. Is what is he gonna? Is it? Can it get any worse, or is he gonna improve that channel? So,
Right. Woo. Okay. We'll have to get into the. I don't know when. Do you know when BET came was born?
I did see the date. I don't remember, but it's. I can't remember what the dates were. What year it said. It's been a while though, because it was before.
It was
Sometime.
founded in '83.
Yeah, it's been on.
Really?
It's been a while.
I could have sworn it was the '90s, but I guess maybe I
It
just
got popular, I think, because
yeah.
of the 106 in Park, like all the when they went to the videos and stuff like that, it got popular. From my era,
Wow.
from my era.
Well, we just we've gone down. We have, Project Joy has turned into an episode of Beyond 2D. We will see. I will see you guys tomorrow. Danielle Valero is going to be back on the show tomorrow. We're going to be talking about 90s fashion and trends. We'll also mix in some of our favorite 90s snacks, like we talked about in the 80s last week as well.
I
So,
saw your Pop Tart chart. Your Pop Tart.
oh, you want to go there?
No, 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 no. And yes, this just in.
Thank you so much for being here today, Farron. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. I can go back to sleep now.
Thanks, everybody, for watching or listening wherever you are in the world today. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you to make joy and nostalgia a priority in your life today and every day. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody.
Peace
Bye.
out.